Okay. Update on the building-wide rent reduction. If you're in building 15, 30, 45, 60, 630, you have the Take Root Justice team. All submissions have been made to the legal team. No more submissions can be made at this time. If you filled out an HUD intake form but didn't speak to the legal team or signed the retainer, send us an email ASAP. There's no guarantees, but we will see if they can still take you for this round. If not, we should be open to another building-wide rent reduction, and you can opt in at that. If you are in building 620 or 2300, you're with NIMIC team, and they're waiting to hear from the legal team on the status. So is everybody aware, depending on what building you're in and what's going on? Yes. Okay, if you still want to do it, you email us, we can get you into the next round. Everybody's good? Ready to go?
In the lease that say you're not allowed to smoke in the apartment.
Not all the, no, we have people that have been living here for different years, and they have different leases. They're rent stabilized leases. So some leases were added, the recent leases have been added to the non-smoking. The older ones are not. Now, two things that you can do. Same thing. We issue non-violation notices. So residents can help us. If you can identify or take a picture and send it to us, that will expedite the violation. Sorry, thank you. The violation notices, and we can send it to our legal attorneys. Same thing. 3 notices, and they go to legal. Now, for the residents that smoke inside their units, the law also allows them to smoke in their unit. However, if there are excessive fumes coming out of the doors affecting the hallways, then that's considered also a violation. So if you come across any of those, let us know. Obviously, we can't monitor it on camera or anything like that, but let us know and we'll address it. I'm sorry?
Why is the smoke is coming through somebody's face?
The vents?
Yes.
Yes, so that means that some of the lines do share air circulations. So yes, someone in that line, let us know. We'll try to pinpoint. If someone can help us pinpoint where it's coming from, that would be quicker. But if not, we'll investigate.
Is that a violation? I mean, is that supposed to happen?
That is a violation if it's coming out. So that means they are not
So when
smoking.
a tenant, okay, now I'm going to get something clear. When a tenant smokes in their apartment, how should they smoke?
Well, they have to make sure that there is enough air ventilation. So open a window, or if they're in the kitchen, they open the fan so they start circulating the air.
So you go down to the neighbor.
Yeah. Now, well, I mean, if they're smoking out of the windows and down the window, you take control there. However, if they have all the windows closed, then when they smoke, it's going to go through the vents because the stacks they share the same vents.
Okay, I'll read the next one. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
What measures can management take to ensure safety and cleanliness in the package room? And here are the 2 points. Who is our package champion with Luxor 1? And how often are the lockers checked? Who is speaking with the carriers to make sure that they use the lockers? And number 3, in November of 2023, SPTU, the union here, had offered to work with Fairstead's package champion by having a few tenant liaisons work with you, as well as offered some suggestions to help the issues of theft, etc. We received no response. Can we revisit this?
So for the last one we can, but there are more information that we got from our legal counsel on the limitations and privacy, etc. But we'll talk openly about them.
Okay.
Now going back to the other points, the package system or the issues with the packages isn't just here at Savoy. And I'm not trying to dismiss the issue. It is an issue, but it's an issue all over the place. Even the Amazon package lockers that you see in the streets or that you see at 7-Eleven, etc., they all have the same issue. Two major things that happens here. A lot of carriers don't want to use the system. So they go in, instead of using the system, scanning the package, which takes time. I get it. They have to scan every package, put it in the unit, and then the code gets sent directly to the resident. and then a package pops up, they put it, or the door pops up, they put in the package. A lot of carriers, especially during holidays, they don't want to use that. We have seen many carriers that will just open the door, shove all the packages and leave. So again, this is not just an issue here, it's everywhere. We always try to look for different solutions. We are considering a different solution right now, that we're still looking through the logistics of it, which may end up removing the actual Boxer units. And there's a new system, I don't know if anybody looked it up, it's called Butterfly. Basically, it's just a secure barcode that anybody has to scan, and then the packages are organized on shelves. Now, the issue with someone going in that don't live here, we need residents to encourage each other to not leave the door open, or same thing like we were talking about the fobs. Don't let people in. You don't know if they have a package or not. Another thing is, if you have a package that you know if you're expecting a package, please come and pick it up quickly. Because also a package sitting in there for days.
Can't even go in and out, because all the time
Right.
come and get their package.
So what we have done as a FAIRSIT team, there are other ways that we can address it also, but so far we have been committed to, we have security, our security, not the security guards, our security, and the building super and the porter, they organize them twice a day. And usually after the evening, yeah, if that's not true, that's the story. Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I respect that. But this is how it should be, twice a day. If you guys are not saying that, that's a great point for me to take back. But that's the most we can do right now, given the system we have.
Well, is there a package champion?
Yeah, who's your package champion?
We don't have package champions, no.
You're supposed to have a package champion. I personally spoke with Luxor One and they explained the process. One person in your company, in your management company, is supposed to be checking those lockers to see if they're full.
Oh,
Yeah, wait, so, and if they're full,
Okay.
and if they've been there over a certain amount of time.
We send them back.
You have to send it back.
So we don't call it package champion.
They don't call them.
We call them system administrator.
Okay.
And we do have those, we check them every once a month. And we have sent, and actually it created a mess, because we have sent some packages back,
Okay.
and residents were upset, but
Well,
there's nothing we can do about it.
That's not on you,
Yeah,
quite frankly.
and-
You know, I mean, that.
And if you recall, 2 years ago,
Yeah.
during the holidays, we had to move all the packages to building, I can't remember, to the building over there, to put all the packages there, because the lockers were not even enough to keep any more packages. They were
What was the
full.
point of having the lockers and the package room to begin with? Because originally there weren't no package room, there were no lockers.
Well, before, the
Yeah.
other option was for the carriers to go and take.
Yes, that is more convenient.
Well, it's more convenient for you,
Yes.
but at the same time, when that happens, we don't know who these carriers are. So that is giving access to these carriers to different floors. And this is something that there's a lot of people that don't want it. We don't want it as a company, because we don't know what these carriers are going to do. With all respect to everybody, but we don't screen. These are not our
But this,
employees.
I mean, how you balance it out? These are standard carriers. It was FedEx and UPS, those were the most popular.
Not necessarily, because Amazon, anybody can deliver Amazon now.
Yes, sure. And
Right.
now you've got Amazon.
So and at the same time, what is going to be the guarantee that these carriers are going to deliver to your door, not the wrong door? I mean, there's going to be more issues with it.
I don't know,
At least when they go to the package room, we have cameras. We're able to, if someone comes to the office, we can track it.
No,
Well,
I
until you walk away
one
from
of
that
the
package.
the United States Postal Office,
Mhm.
he showed me a video
Mhm.
of this individual removing packages.
Mhm.
They covered up the camera, but it was like done with total dignity, with total ownership. It was done in a fabulous way. He was sitting there videoing, he took the entire event on camera, nothing happened, they did it. So your videos are.
No, I mean, they-
No, you, but I've seen it myself.
But at the same time, just like anywhere else, if a car gets stolen, we give the videos to the police and.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I-
we can't get them. We can't get them. We've asked you for those, and it's like, oh, you gotta go file a whole police report. And that, it's like, you gotta go down to the 32nd, file a police report. The police report, they have to ask you, why can't you just go investigate immediately when you know that there's something
And
that's
if they
stolen?
have camera working in that package, this will take it to the record.
So what?
But I know 2018, when they first opened up, I ordered some merchandise, it was like 4 packages. And then I called the company to tell them that I didn't receive it because I didn't have my key registered to go in the package room because I didn't sign up for anything. And then 2019, this guy Mike was working here, and I said, well, check and see if I have anything in it. And I had 4 packages in there.
For a year.
Yeah, for a whole year. But they sent me my package, but then I felt so bad because after a year, I didn't call them and tell them.
Come back and take your package.
Right.
The more reports they get, they said the more they're gonna come because they're gonna know there's a problem here. You must
They need the data
report it to
they need
311.
that information.
I have building specific question. Yes.
It's for you, Laura.
About 30. So
Sorry.
building 630, so I know there were 2 days where we had security, and the overall security was definitely better. Once they left, again, the front door is regularly broken.
Did you report that to the office?
Yes.
Okay.
Picture, it's easy, the front door is regularly broken, it gets fixed. But my concern is the fixing does not happen in a very stable way, just quickly.
Yeah, I don't know if you were here when we were talking about the gates and the doors. They do take time for the part.
How long? 2 years? 3 years?
Yeah.
Well, what's the problem? We can't fix the security, in the security, buildings are clean. You're supposed to be the property manager.
Okay.
So what? What's your title again?
I'm not the property manager, but however, every building has a super, and the super they do have a what do you call it? A schedule that they check after the porters. The porters have different schedules for different floors, and if you see an excessive dirtiness to a building, you should report it. If you haven't already done it.
Report it to who?
To the office. Yes.
Lou, I have a question. Our maintenance men clean these buildings. We got people in here that are just downright nasty. I mean, come on. I mean, I come down there early in the morning, people got their clothes, and they don't want to, and they throw them downstairs, and they don't even want to put them in the back. They throw them in the lobby.
Yeah.
They put food down here in the lobby. I mean, it's ridiculous. Why can't we get the damn system with the fire intercom where we can see who's ringing these bells 2, 3 o'clock in the morning talking about delivery, Amazon, all kinds of.
What's the time frame?
And people next that.
I don't have answers to those.
People are
We're
listening.
only gonna stick to the
Yeah,
question.
we definitely.
Hang on. If we have more questions, we want to be sure that we thank Louay for spending his time here. But again, we repeat, if you have questions, email them to us. We will make sure Fairstead gets them, and they can put together an answer or find an answer if they don't have it right away. So let's yes. If you can get it.
I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice, so I can't speak to my question. I just wanted to say generally, I wanted to introduce myself personally, because I appreciate you being here for starters. I know it's not easy. I know you're not the boss, and that you're here to represent whoever has failed to show up. My name is Rochelle. I live in Building 30 in Apartment 2B. I've been here for about 9 years. That doesn't even begin to cover the amount of years that other people have been here. I know that you are at work right now. We are not at work. We're in our homes. And we come here, I know that when you leave, you're going home, wherever that may be, you're going to lay your head. That is your sanctuary. This is our sanctuary. This is our safe space. So what you're hearing is a lot of frustration. In the 9 years that I've been here, this is the first time I've ever met anyone at Fairstead outside of the maintenance office. I had to reach out to politicians, to Facebook, and block me on social media, not here specifically, shut down comments. So to hear someone is great. For me personally, the procedures and everything that you're discussing, we're telling you that those procedures are not working. The system is broken. So it feels frustrating when we keep being told the same system, because many of us know the system, but we're just telling you that the system is broken. So we need to know, yes, there are procedures, but there is a management that is supporting making sure that this is our sanctuary. That if the system is broken, that you are going to come up with creative solutions, no matter what that may be. And if gates, etc., continue to be broken, it's kind of like doing the same thing, right? Insanity and expecting the same result. At what point do we say these gates no longer function? It needs to be scrapped.
I can tell you that right now.
I don't need an answer.
No, I'm sorry.
And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be
No,
rude.
I
I don't need
totally
an
get it.
answer.
Yeah.
I just kind of wanted to speak on a humane level, and I could be wrong. I know that this is your job. The other thing for me, I'm a guidance counselor. I would love to hear just acknowledgement and empathy. I know that you're not the person that can fix everything, but to just acknowledge and say, I hear what you guys are going through. I'm sorry that you have experienced this, and it's not that you're taking blame or ownership.
No, absolutely.
I just wanted to say that.
And I appreciate that. And one thing in closing, right? We talked with some of you guys about some of those big issues, the intercom, the gates, the security, and we are committed to start giving updates.
And the buildings are not clean.
I don't think we need to go through the whole list.
Yeah.
I think the point is,
So-
you guys know we're communicating with them,
Right,
right?
and we are gonna continue, well, we haven't started on a regular basis, but we will, and we're gonna continue to give everybody projections or estimates to when we expect those things to be completed, or what's the plan, or what we're trying to do about it. For example, the packages, that will be, we consider a low-hanging fruit because it's not gonna cost $10 million like the gates. The gates is gonna cost a lot more. The intercom, we know that's a problem.
Call boxes too.
Yeah, so we will do better at communication. We are not good at communication. We will do better at communication and make it more, open. Like you said, we're not going to have an answer to everything. Unfortunately, there are limitations to what we can get approval on quickly, and then what things are going to need more time and more people to sign off on. Like, to replace an intercom system that's going to cost $5 million. It's going to require more approval than something that's going to cost $5,000.
So,
Yeah, but they haven't cut down on the riprap coming in the building.
right. So to that
The
point,
union is working.
to that point, like if you've got the gates that are not working, and you've got the intercoms that are not working, and you've got security that is
Not working.
What did you see when you put a security officer in 620 and 630? Did the incidents decrease? Does it justify trying it out for each building?
It did. Absolutely. I mean, anyone can answer you that, right? It did decrease. However, it is a very large expense. And I'm not in a position to authorize something without having more people approving it, to have a doorman.
So would
But
something
it
like
is-
this help push that forward?
I mean, it is something that we are discussing with ownership, investors, etc., and we'll communicate with you guys. But one of the things when we talked a little over a month, I think, in end of April, about the number of gates that were down, and then the number of gates that are down now are a lot less, right? Some of you guys had some recommendations about cars, about the security iconic car that was parked up front. Like all of these comments, please bring them to us.
Yes.
So okay.
And you mentioned some really good comments, and thank you about that park. I'm going to go check it out.
If you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on legal fees to get squatters out of the building, you're not getting rent for those units.
Right.
Because there are squatters in.
100% right.
And the tenants around those units are not enjoying the peaceful quietude of their residence. And not to mention the mental wear and tear on those tenants. And you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to deal with the squatters. Why not spend those hundreds of thousands of dollars on doormen in each building to prevent the squatters from coming in the first place? That is preventative as opposed to curative. That's money well
I have a tenant who went over there and asked to see the elevator certifications, and they weren't denied.
So there is a story behind that, but I'm telling you right now, anybody who goes there and asks to see the certification, they can see the certification, and I'm happy to send it back to you guys, and you can distribute it to
That works. That's fine.
I'm happy to do that.
Okay,
Now,
we'll follow up to see that these guys are cleaning the place.
So hold
Because
on,
years ago-
let me just.
Guys.
The elevator. So the elevator, we have a service contract with a company called Guardsman. So Guardsman Elevator, they hold all the certificates, through our office. But they're the one who renew the certifications for the elevators, they're the one who monitor the elevators. If an elevator goes out, we call them. We have a contract with them that are responsible for everything. None of our maintenance, I don't know if you guys noticed this, none of our maintenance touch the elevator. We're not allowed or not supposed to. So anything that happens goes directly through them, and they're the one who renew it every year. They get inspections, the DOT, and all of that. Do you have a question about the elevator?
I have a question.
Yes.
I work for the city.
Yes.
And not to make a comparison, the way this management is handling these buildings is worse than the city itself. Number one. Number two, it took me to go to court because it was let in my apartment in order for the management office to simply say, okay, we don't want you to bring up this whole case with letting the apartment. Then they showed the certificates to me. Only then they did, because I had you guys in court. Why are the tenants being refused? It's a right that we tenants have to see those certs. And management, you go to the office and they deny the certs. Only when I went to court, because you guys said I wasn't paying my rent. But funny, I was holding the rent and I'm gonna continue holding my rent until everything in my apartment is fixed. Then, only then, you guys call me within 4 hours of HPD coming in here and hitting you guys in violation. Technically, right now, this building, I handle 5 borrowers, over 330,000 apartments. All these doors that don't close, that's fire violations. All these deteriorated paint are violations, especially when my apartment had lead. There's kids in this building that visit more than 10 hours a week, and that's already enough for all these paint deficiencies to be corrected, which they're not being corrected. Okay, so I urge anyone that has kids in this building under the age of 10 that visit more than 10 hours a week, under the age of 6, correction, call and start filing tickets.
Can I ask
If
a
you have
question?
internet paint, because
I have a question tied to that.
Yeah.
What if you're not computer savvy and you don't use rent cafe? Because we have a lot of, but that doesn't work. That's what folks are trying to communicate. And then, hang on, and then on top of that, when you go to the maintenance office, when you have 2 people, you're there for a very long time, so it's inefficient.
Right. So if they call and no one picks up the phone, leave a message. And if no one calls back, call again. I'm sorry?
When you face your message, your mission turns off.
The recently?
Yeah.
I'll follow up with that.
And even in the leasing home, you can list that, yes, for the maintenance, and maintenance, but then ask for the purchase, working on the leasing home.
All right, so obviously we have follow up to answer, so I will follow up with that. Great point there, and I will definitely follow up on the message.
It looks like a little simple failure.
Yes. So, any advice on dealing with neighbors who are experiencing a mental health crisis and the effect it has on other paying tenants' quality of life? How is Fairstead managing this population? And they wrote, we are not asking for specifics for tenants, but if there is a disruptive tenant.
A disruptive tenant.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
How are we handling these situations? So when we receive a complaint, a letter is sent to the resident with a violation on the lease, is sent to the resident. After 3 violations, everybody's on a rent stabilized lease, because this is the rent stabilized building. After 3 violations, the file is sent to legal. It's sent to an L&D attorney. It's not our attorneys, it's sent for holdover. And at that point, they're dealing with an attorney directly. There are some residents that we have served multiple violations, and we are no longer able to speak with them. We have explained to them that at this point, unfortunately, you have received multiple violations, we cannot speak with you. We gotta speak with our legal team directly. There's more to it.
I don't. I don't think so. Do you want me to, I can read it real quick. What are the procedures for security if a noise disturbance persists after a warning has been given?
I'm not done with that one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good, you're fine. So, there's one more.
This is the quality of life.
Right, the quality of life. We do partner, so let me back up here for a second. Everyone who applies to live as a boy goes through the same exact screening. It's not something that we override or anything. It's through a system. We don't know who is applying. All what we know is the social security and the date of birth. That's all what we enter. And we enter it based on the information that's provided to us. We don't even enter anything else. The applicant applies online and they enter all that information. When we screen, the screening comes back to whether it's approved or denied. If it's denied due to accredited reasons, we partner with other organizations to help the resident with their credit. It's called guarantors or lead guarantors. They're like online services or local services. On the criminal part, we have criminal criteria that is in the system. No one can override it. I don't even have access to it personally. I don't even have access to look at it. If a resident is denied, a resident is denied. There is nothing we can do. And we don't even know why they were denied. By law, we are.
To the mental health issues,
Yeah,
what
yeah.
about tenants that are here for years?
Can I
And
finish?
doing the same thing every single day that you're hearing it.
Let me just finish.
And that can't be free, that has to be at least 3,000.
So let me finish this.
So,
Let me finish.
really.
So after the screening is complete, after the screening is completed, we treat everybody the same for fair housing. We treat everybody the same, whoever qualifies gets moved in. Now, going back to the comment, when we give violations, it has to go through the court system. The court system is very slow in New York. And if someone has a way to get that expedited, by all means. We don't have any control over the court system. Unfortunately, we do, obviously, we're not gonna talk about specific residents, but we do have, I'm gonna say, a handful of residents that are not even dealing with us anymore. They are dealing with outside legal attorneys, and they have been in court multiple times. And it's up to the judge to determine when is the time for them to be removed. It got nothing to do with us. We cannot do anything with it. And we are a fair housing, we're an equal fair housing facility, so there's nothing we can do. It has to go with the proper chain on the legal. So yes, it's frustrating to you as much as it's frustrating to us. We have residents that damage the building.
Yeah, and that.
We could not do anything. We called the police, the next day they were back.
Yeah.
And I don't know what but trust me, I know that and even, quick point, we have residents where they're not residents, they're.
Squatters.
But we all know squatters are in New York have rights.
No.
And what we do is we send them through legal. And some of these squatters have been living here for over a year. And they are in process, and trust me, I'm not talking about money because money is the last or least concern right here. However, these residents or they became residents because New York law. These people that are in court, we have spent thousands and even hundreds of thousands of dollars on legal fees, and we haven't even gotten them out. They don't pay rent, and they're damaging the property, and we're also losing good tenants for it. It costs us money to turn a unit. I'm sorry?
They have to did it's still for notice. It's still in our packages in 630.
I understand. It's just to go through the legal system. Now, what you guys can help us with is the more information you can provide us, we can provide it as evidence outside of the management. Because at the end of the day, the judge is gonna say, okay, that's your story. We need more evidence to show us. The management is not trying to single someone out, or etc. I mean, that's how judges deal with it. So you guys can help us by providing us any information. I know it's frustrating, trust me. You know, with some of the incidents that happened recently, it was very, very disturbing. And our hands are very, very tight. I wish there is a magic solution to it, but it's out of our hands. Unless I become a judge, and some of you guys become judges that can help us expedite that process. We need your help, we need your help to provide us any, evidence, et cetera.
So,
The other side,
with that point,
Yes.
maybe there's a bigger conversation, because I think there's frustration about even getting contact with the management to get things done in the apartment.
I'm the
So
one that's been
therefore-
emailing and copying you on all the emails, all the angry emails to Victoria, who does absolutely nothing. Who cares about nothing or anyone here, who allows any Tom, Dick, or Harry to come in. They're getting screened a completely different way than the rest of us.
no, I'll get.
And we're dealing with their mental issues.
No, but here's the thing,
Okay, I sent you the pictures of the diapers, the dog wee-wee pads with shit in it.
Mhm.
Those pictures, thrown out the window, I'm the one.
I understand.
Like, this woman knows everything for years and has done nothing, that's why you got copied.
But let me tell you, and please, by all means, anybody
No,
who.
we need to hear us, we don't need about the courts and what rights you guys have, you need to hear us.
So,
You need
I
an
think-
open channel to.
Like, anybody would like. to-
Your lawyer is bad enough, your lawyer is an animal, okay? So we need to hear about us.
Alright, so. Everybody have my contact information, if you don't have my contact information, I'm happy to give you my contact information, so you can include me on any information that you would like me to address.
But to her point, I think if you could talk just briefly about security and like what are the odds of us getting a doorman who can stop some of these vagrants from coming in as visitors of people who are squatting?
So we have talked in different occasions that we as a company are not very thrilled with the security company we have. And we are actually, I agree, yes, it's one of the comments, right? So we are looking for, we've been working with them to enhance their services. The barcode that we're talking about, I heard someone mentioning that. They just walk around, scan the barcode.
That's all I
Right, we have implemented extra steps for us to make sure that they're doing the work that they're telling us that they're doing the work. We're reviewing cameras, so we're watching them very, very closely.